Hello. Welcome to Google Classroom for Beginners. My name is Julie Miller, and I work for the New Bedford Public Schools. A little about me. So my name again is Julie Miller, and I've worked in New Bedford Public Schools for the past 15 years. I have been a grade 1 teacher, a TLS, and currently I'm an ESL teacher. I grew up in New Bedford, and I went to New Bedford Public Schools from kindergarten to 12th grade. Both of my parents were educators in New Bedford Public Schools. I have one fur baby, Theodore. There's his picture. And I am not a technology expert. I have learned a lot from YouTube and from my colleagues. Now, are you feeling this way? I felt like this is a great meme to use when talking about technology in the classroom. I was feeling this way too, but don't worry, we'll get through it together. Some of the outcomes from today are you are going to learn how to navigate Google Classroom as a teacher and as a student. You will be able to create a Google Classroom, add co-teachers, add students, and create assignments. And you will learn how to add Google Classroom to your Clever page. The agenda for today just goes over some of the topics in a little more detail. Okay. Now, this is super important. So in order for you to use the Google Suite for New Bedford Public Schools, you need to be logged in with your New Bedford Public Schools email. Now, a lot of people have both a personal Gmail account as well as the school email account. You need to be logged in with your school email account. Otherwise, the functions and features of Google Classroom will not work. Now, when you log into Google with your New Bedford Public Schools email, all you have to do is open a web browser and sign in to Google by clicking on the blue sign in box and putting in your school email and password. So I'll show you how to do that. Right here, we have our sign in. So if I click on that, it logged me right in because it remembers me. But otherwise, if it did not remember you, you would click on either your school email address if it's already here, or you would click on add another account. And you would simply type in your school email or password right in here and click on next. Now I'm just going to log back into mine. Okay. When you are logged in the corner, you will see your initial. So mine's in a purple circle with the letter J for my first name. Now, sometimes that does not work for you. So if it does not work for you, you are just going to have to do this. If you are locked out of your Google Suite using your New Bedford Public Schools email, you need to actually go and log into Outlook on the website and log in with your New Bedford Public Schools email and password. Then you are going to click on your initials in the top right corner of the page, and then you click on My Account. Once you do that, you will then click on Security and Privacy. Then you will click on Password. Then reset your email password. Now you can use the same password that you had before. What's going to happen is this is going to sync your Google Suite to be the same password as your New Bedford Public Schools email. Okay, so logging into Google Classroom. The first thing you need to do once you're in Google and you see your initials in the corner, you'll also see 9 dots on top of each other. So it looks like an array. Now, if you click on that, I call it the waffle, and some people out there call it the waffle. If you click on it, you're going to see all of the different apps that Google Google Suite has for New Bedford Public Schools. You're going to click on Classroom. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about logging into Google as a student. Now, in order to show you the aspects, or the view, I should say, of a student, I'm going to have you join my demo class. Now, you're going to be joining as a student, but your role in the district is not a student. So if it asks you Are you a student or a teacher? Please click on teacher. If you do not click on teacher, you will not have all of the permissions that a teacher would have for the district. You will just have a student account and you will not be able to create a classroom. With that being said, you're going to click on the plus sign in the top right corner, and you would click on join class. You can enter this code, which is for my demo classroom, which is the all lowercase letters CYYPM7A, and then click on join. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So here I am. Here's my initials. I'm going to go to the waffle, click on classroom. Once you're in, these are all the classrooms that I'm connected to at the moment, but if you click on this arrow, the plus sign, join class, and then you can type in the code CYYPM7A. And I will be showing you how to get a class code for your students. And then we can click on join. Now this won't let me join right now because I am currently logged into my teacher account. But I have already gone ahead and logged in as a student using my personal Gmail account. Since I own this account, this class, I should say, I cannot join as a student. Okay, here it is. There's the classroom right here. So once you join the classroom by typing in that code and clicking on join, it should bring you to my demo class, which is right here. I'm going to go back to the presentation. Okay. Now, Google Classroom from a student's view. So one of the most important things that the students in your class will need to know is how to complete their assignments and how to turn them in. This can get confusing, especially if they've never experienced Google Classroom before. Now, once you click on the assignment, you will have to click on the link that will have the student's name on it if you made a copy for each student. Again, I'm going to show you this once I'm through this part of the presentation. So once you click on that assignment, a new tab in the browser will open. As a student, you will complete the assignment. And then once you're finished, you must go back into Google Classroom and click on View Assignment and then Turn In. When you do this, the teacher will get a notification that the work is turned in. Now, I have gotten some questions about the Share button here, and if that is a way to send it to your teacher. You can do it that way and click on Share, but then the child or the student is going to have to type in their teacher's email address, and sometimes that can be confusing, especially for some of our students. So I'm going to show you how to go back to the classwork page and then click on Turn In. I find that a little bit easier. Again, this is just showing you how to turn in your work. You go back to Assignment and then Turn In. So before we get into this, I'm going to go back into my classroom here, and I'm just going to change my account to be my student account here. All these securities. All right. Here we go. So this is the demo class. Now this is the page as a student. So when you're assigning classwork as a teacher, the students will then see it either on the stream, which we will talk about, or in classwork. When I go into the classwork page, I, as the teacher, have organized my assignments this way. I figured as for this presentation and professional development opportunity, I added some different things in here that I figured would be helpful. But for an assignment, let's just go here to this letters assignment. If I click on it, it's going to show me what the assignment is. I'm going to click on View Assignment. In here, if there could have been, the teacher could have written instructions here or directions, but there are none. So I'm then going to click here on my work. So your work. See, it's opening a new tab. Once that tab opens, here we have the assignment. So it's all about the letter A. So then the student would just scroll down and go watch the video. If they click on this, they should be able to watch the video, build the letters. So you can just click, the kids can each do this. You just click on the blocks. Oops. To make the letter. Okay, and so on. Sort the letters, there's another video. So the teacher can assign various pages or the whole presentation, depends on what they choose. But when the student is done, they can click on share here and then type in their teacher's email address and then click on done. But I find going back into the actual assignment here, so instead of being on this tab, I'm going to switch to the letters tab, and then I'm going to go back and click turn in. When you do that, it sends a copy of your work to the teacher. Okay. All right. So now I am going to go back to the presentation, and we're going to talk about Google Classroom as a teacher. Okay. So how to create a class. You are going to go to that plus sign that we went to before. Instead of join class, you're going to click on create class. Once you click on create class, a box like this will appear, and you have to choose a class name. You can add a section or a subject or a room number, and then click on create. Once you do that, your classroom, it will appear on your page. So it's kind of like your, what's that word I'm thinking of? Thumbnail. It's like a thumbnail on your page. So here we have how to add students. So when you're adding students to your classroom, what you're going to do is go to at the top where it says people. So you'll see stream, classwork, people, and grades. So you would click on people, and then you would go down to where it says students, and there's a person with a plus sign. All you have to do is click on that. Now, adding students with their email addresses, I find is the easiest way, but all you have to do is type in the student's name and their email address will appear. You click on their email address and then click on invite. And when you do this, the students will have on their end, so on the student view, they'll have a box that pops up on their Google Classroom, and they would click join to join your class. Now to add co-teachers is the same thing. You would go from people, you would go to teachers, and then click on the person with the plus sign, and then you would enter the teacher's email addresses. Now these teachers that you add to your classroom can see what you assign your students, but they can also assign their own assignments only to the whole class or to certain students in your class. This is really helpful for our special education teachers and our ESL teachers, because instead of having a whole lot of classrooms that each child is in, you can have one classroom, maybe their main classroom, and then the co-teachers could just assign assignments to those specific students that they work with. Okay, so before I get into the stream, let me just show you how to do that. So here we are up at the top, we have stream, classwork, people, grades, click on people. And then here, students, you can see I'm a student in my own classroom. That's using my personal Gmail. So if you click on invite students, and then you can type the name of a student. So for example, let's see, my friend Sylvia's son right here, I'll click on it and click invite, and then he would get an invitation. Teacher, same thing, add a co-teacher, you click on the plus sign, you type an email. I'll use my friend Dominique Patessa. There it is. I would click on invite, and she would have access to my class. Very easy. Okay, now I'm going to go back here to the stream. Now the stream on Google Classroom is like a Facebook feed. Everything that you post for classwork can go onto the stream, and that's usually the first place that the students will look. It's the first thing that they'll see when they log into Google Classroom. Now you can make changes to what is seen on the feed by clicking on the gear, which is the settings. and it will bring you into the class settings. And then you can scroll down where you will see the, in big letters, general, and then you would see stream. Now, next to the words next to the stream, there's a little triangle, and you can click on that to change what is allowed on the stream. So you could have the students can post and comment on the stream. You might have that teachers can only post and comment on the stream, or students only can comment. It's totally up to you how you want your classroom to run on Google Classroom. So here are those options. Students can post and comment. Students can only comment, and only teachers can post and comment. And then make sure that you click on save to save any of the changes that you made. Okay. Now, like I said, anything that you post on for classwork will go automatically onto the stream as well, unless you change those settings. So if you go into the settings with the gear and go into general again, where in bold it says classwork on the stream, you can click on show attachments and details. That means it'll show everything that you have created for classwork. You can click on show condensed notifications, and that will just usually say the title of the assignment and maybe when it's due, but it won't give all the details. Or you can hide notifications on the stream. Now, everyone's different. Every classroom runs differently. I personally would hide notifications on the stream and just always direct my students to the classwork page to find their work. But I have spoken with other teachers who feel like having all the classwork on the classwork page and on the stream is more beneficial, because there's 2 places for each student to find the assignments. So all of that's up to the teacher. It's the teacher's preference. Okay. So we'll get into that in 1 second. Let me just show you how to change those notifications. So I'm going to go back here to the stream. Now here in the corner is the gear. You would click on the gear and then go down to general. And here we have the stream. So it's on students can post and comment. If you click on the little triangle on your Google Classroom, you can choose how you would like your stream to look, what permissions you'd like to set for it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Classwork on the stream. So right now I'm showing condensed notifications. So if I go back to my classroom, classwork, I should say, stream, you can see how this is a condensed notification. I posted a new assignment in the title of the assignment. This is the date that I posted it. Okay, that's condensed notifications. I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that to show attachments and details. And then I'm going to click on save. And now when I go back into the stream, it's actually showing more details for me. Now, if I go back in as a student, let's see. As a student, it shows the assignment, and it also shows whether this one's a PDF. Some of the assignments have attachments, and those would be popping up here as well. I'm going to go back one more time to settings, and I am going to change this to hide notifications. And I'm going to click save. Okay. Now on my stream, I don't have anything except for this right here. Now for this on my stream, I actually made that kind of pinned it to the top. So I clicked on move to the top. So this will always be at the top of my page to remind the students to go on Lexia. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to assign classwork. Now when assigning classwork, you have to click on the classwork tab at the top, and it's located right between stream and people. And then you're going to click on the plus sign in create to create an assignment, a quiz, a question, material, reuse a post, or create a topic. Now, when you're creating assignment, you should create a title for the assignments, and then you can add the instructions if you want. You can add them. You can then add like a Google file. So a Google Drive link could be a doc, a slide, a form. You can also add any kind of link to a different website, or you could add a file that you downloaded on your computer, or you can even access YouTube videos for assignments. Okay. And I'm going to show you some samples of some different assignments on my demo classroom where you're a student. Okay. Now, when you're adding a Google Slide assignment, this is very important. You have 3 different options for that file that you upload from a Google Slide. And it's located right here. So here is a copy of the letter identification activity. And it says students can view the file. And then there's that little triangle. Now, if you click on that triangle, you're going to have some different options here. Students can view the file. That means they can only view it. They cannot make any changes. That's helpful when it's like an exemplar that you want to show them of someone's work, whether it's your work or another student's work, and you don't want them to make any changes. Students can edit the file. Now, that is a live document that all the students can edit. So it's only one file with all the students writing on it. This can be helpful for a write around where the students are each writing a part of the story and they're adding on to it, or some kind of collaboration work that you have decided to do with your students. But the most commonly used option is the make a copy for each student. So that means each student will have their own document to complete. So when I showed you the activity with the letter A, that was a copy for each student. It had my name and then the assignment. So I could make edits and move things around on that assignment, and it would save, and then I turn it in. No other student can access that. That is the most used option when you're using a Google Slide. Okay. Once you have created that assignment, you would just click, you can click on assign if you want to assign it to all of your students. Or you can click on some of these other options here. So some of the other options are you can add points. So you can give it your assignment points if you're using a point system. You can add a due date. We can move it under a specific topic. So on my page, I had elementary level, secondary level, school adjustment counselors. If in your classroom, you might organize it by the days of the week, or a week's worth of lessons, or by topic. That's up to you. And you can also add a rubric. The rubric is gone over more in the intermediate and advanced Google Classroom PD. So if you're interested in that, you can watch those videos. And then when you're all ready, you can click on assign. All right, before we get into that, let me go back here and just show you. So classwork, create, assignment. If you're going to create an assignment, you can title your assignment. I'm going to show you a Google Doc. So I'm going to just title this writing and instructions, right, about words. Write about your preference between remote learning and face-to-face. Here I could, this is for my classroom that I have right now, the demo class, all students. Now, if I had a whole bunch of students in this class, I could click on all students, or if you unclick that, you can just choose specific students that you want to assign it to. And topic, so I can then put it, let's say I want this writing assignment in elementary level. I would click that and it would put it right there. But what I'm going to do is click on add. And no, I'm not going to do add because I'm not going to take anything from my Google Drive or a link or file or YouTube. I'm actually going to create a Google Doc. So I'm going to click on Create Docs. Here it's creating a Google Doc. It actually opens the document. And here I'm going to rename the document to writing. I'm going to say remote versus face-to-face. Okay. And then I might add the question here, right, about your preference between remote learning and face-to-face. And then sometimes you might want to write like type here. That way students know to type right there. So you can change the color if you want, change it to red. So then the students know they start writing there. Now, when you go back into your classwork tab, you're going to see this will change shortly and it will have my title. But here's that students can view the file. Now you can change it, okay, to make a copy for each student if each student is going to write their own, assignment, their own response. Okay, when you're all set, you're going to click on Assign. And that assignment will be assigned to everyone that you choose to have it assigned to. Right. Let's go back to the presentation. Now, creating a topic. To organize your assignments, you want to create a topic. So your topic could be a subject like math or ELA or science, or a week, like the week of June 8th to June 12th, or you could do it by, let's say you're a science teacher and you have different topics that you're going over in science. You could then, create a topic for each of those. It's really easy. If you go to the plus sign and create, you can go down to topic. A new screen will pop up where you have to add your topic. So you just type in whatever you want and then click on add. Once you've done that, you can actually just move assignments around on your classwork page by clicking it and dragging it to where you want it to be. So for example, if I did not put my writing assignment that I just created under the elementary level topic, it would have just been at the top of the page under no topic, and I would just click it and move it to where I want. Let me show you how to do that. So even if it's here in the elementary level and I want it to go to secondary, I just click it, drag it, and drop it. All right. Now, turning off your email notifications. This is super helpful if you are a co-teacher in more than one class. So if you go into the settings, and I'm going to show you how to do this, you will be able to turn off your email notifications. You can select different topics that you want to not receive email notifications on, and then you can turn on some that you would like to get email notifications on. It automatically defaults to having your email notifications on for everything. So for example, myself as an ESL teacher, I might be attached to 15 classrooms in Google Classroom. Every time a teacher assigns something or does something in their Google Classroom, I would be getting an email notification. That's a lot of email notifications. So there's ways that we can edit that. So I will show you in one moment. Let me show. So if we go up here, I'm just going to go back to the home screen. These three lines here, it's the main menu. If you click on that and then go down, these are all the classrooms I'm in. But if you go down to the bottom, there's settings. Once you go to settings, here I have all of my email notifications are off. See that it's toggled off to gray. When I toggle it back to blue, you will see all of these things that you would get notifications for. So if you would like, to receive comments on your posts that you created on the page, you would toggle it on to blue. comments that mention you. If you don't want to get those comments, those email notifications rather, you would click it so it's off. Okay, so we have all of these different options. So you have classes that you're enrolled in, so you're a co-teacher, these are options, or classes that you teach, so you are the owner of that classroom. These are different options. Right now, I just have all of the notifications turned off because I don't have an active, I have active classrooms in the summer program. Then I don't want my inbox to get full of Google Classroom notifications. So I have it shut off right now. Okay. So this slide just goes over how to toggle those on and off. And now we're moving on to Google Classroom and Clever. So as you know, our school system uses Clever to manage all of our applications and websites that we use with our students. So in order for students to have easy access to Google Classroom, you should be adding your Google Classroom into Clever. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, SACs, guidance counselors, paraprofessionals, and principals right now do not have a Clever account. So if you are in one of those roles, I apologize. You will just have to follow along with the presentation and not be able to actively participate. But if this changes, so if Clever all of a sudden is allowing us to give SACs, guidance counselors, paraprofessionals, and principals access to Clever, you will know how to do it. So when you're adding Google Classroom to your Clever page, the first thing you need to do is to log into Clever and click on your page. And I will show you how to get into Clever for teachers that have never done that before. Once you're in your classroom page, you're going to click on the green oval that says Add. After you click on the plus sign with the Add button, so the green oval, you're going to choose Link. So you have this screen that says Add Link. You just copy and paste your link to Google Classroom in that first box. You would name your link. So, mine might say Miss Miller's Google Classroom in the link name box. And then you can upload a Google Classroom icon and then click on Add Link. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Now, some people might not know how to upload a Google Classroom icon. It's fairly easy. All you need to do is open a web browser page, like a Google search, and type in Google Classroom. And then you click on Images. When you click on Images, all sorts of images appear. You just find the one that you like, right click on it. It will save the image. You would select Save Image As and type in, Google Classroom icon, and then it will save to your computer. You would then click on the Upload button here, right here with the cloud. And then you would find the file that you saved and then click on Open. And then the icon will appear next to the others. You just click on it right there. You click on it and then click on Add Link. And then your link will be added to your Clever page. Okay, so questions? I'm going to show you quickly how to add Google Classroom to your Clever page. So some of you may not know how to log into Clever. So to log into Clever, the easiest way is to just open a New Bedford Public Schools website and go to Staff Links, and then there's Clever. And when you log into Clever, you as a teacher are going to click on Log In with Active Directory. Once you click on that, you'd have to add your school email and password, click on Sign In, and it'll bring you right into Clever. All right, so I have a lot of different things on my Clever page. So I have a few Google Classrooms, but I'm going to show you how to add it anyway. So if you go here to Add Link, and then here we have that Add Link box. So now I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. Go back to And this is the home page. I'm actually just going to copy and paste from here. So copy. I'm going to go back to Clever. I'm going to paste that link there. I'm going to name it. As you can see, you can't go over 30 characters. I am going to upload a Google Classroom icon. Google Classroom in the search. Then I'm going to go to images. I'm just going to use this one here. I'm going to click on the right side of my mouse, save image as. And I'm just going to type in Google Classroom icon. And I already have one, but I'm going to replace that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to Clever, upload. Here's my files. There it is. Click on it. Click on open. Now my icon's here. I'm going to click on that icon and add link. And my link has been added to my Google Classroom. All right. So that is it. If you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Julie Miller. My email address is jmiller@newbedfordschools.org. I will try my best to answer your question, but as I stated in the beginning, I am not an expert. I've just kind of learned how to use Google Classroom during our remote learning time this past school year. I hope everyone has a great day.